Hi, this is Lewis from the NetWeather TV forums. This is another video forecast. This time a general forecast instead of just a summary on the models like I've been doing over the past few days. It's going to turn much colder overnight tonight into the early hours as upper 850s become very cold as an Arctic blast comes from the north and pushes south across everyone by tomorrow afternoon. At the moment you can see I've got the UK 850 temps sea level pressure charts from the NetWeather Extra models, and you can see the sea level pressure chart as well next to it. I'm just going to flick through. As you can see, northern parts of Scotland, 3 AM in the morning, you get your -8, -10, possibly -11 to -12 upper 850s pushing southwards. This is generally a northerly direction, a northerly flow. And as you can see, as it pushes down further into the day, we'll start to pick up a more northwesterly flow. So showers will probably stay mostly for western off coast from the northwestern areas, some of them pushing inland, the Cheshire Gap for example, but areas to the east of that on the eastern side of England, up the Yorkshire and Lincolnshire coastline, north east England, should stay mainly dry other than some showers, possibly very heavy, clips the coastline at best. Basically this is what you call the wishbone effect, where precipitation down the centre of the span of the UK and inland areas stay dry and avoid it, whereas basically the places out to the coast get the precipitation. You can clearly see as I go through the run, the northwesterly gradually becomes more of a west-northwesterly flow until we get more of a westerly component. The most interesting thing, the hardest thing to obviously forecast is, as you can see now, this low pressure and the track of it. I'm just going to quickly show you this chart here that Gobby Ash from the Yorkshire Lincolnshire thread posted a link to Paul Hudson's blog, and the chart indicates the position of the low centres over so many runs, and as you can see here, these are the recent ones. There's a lot of unset. Generally you could say the pattern is for it to be around this area, but there's still scope for things to change. Obviously the position as it is now on the 12-0, it is quite a good position for a lot of areas, southeastern parts, East Anglia, Lincolnshire and parts of Yorkshire. I'd say areas North Yorkshire generally not in the fire line as much. It says you come down to East Yorkshire, Lincolnshire, then across the southern parts of Yorkshire, and obviously down to East Anglia, where it could end up quite significant in terms of snowfall amounts, depending on the exact track of the low pressure and where it does sit. The precipitation wrap round is going to be quite heavy, so where it pivots, the areas that are in the firing line will generally get quite a fair amount of snowfall. Those of you that may be unlucky, it could be a little bit further north, a little bit further south, will find that you could be in the clear dry window for times, but although you generally will get some snowfall, as there's going to be a lot of showers packing in front and behind the low pressure system as it rotates and moves out east northeast into the North Sea, just east northeast of the Wash. So the winds will pick up, possibly touching gale force for eastern areas and southeastern areas. Generally speaking, the low pressure is quite, I'd say, quite deep. The GFS does have a tendency to over deepen lows. But as we're coming into the reliable time frame, I cannot see it overdoing it as much as it has. It does look pretty. The evolution of it's pretty much spot on. So I cannot see it. Obviously, we want it tighter. We do want it as tight as possible, because generally areas will tend to do a lot better the tighter the ice bars are, because of the track, the source, the flow basically. So you should see some, like I said, showers as well. For those of you that don't get the general organised precipitation from the low pressure system, those that don't get that will generally get a lot of shower activity, as you get obviously the strong winds blowing off the North Sea, so convection is going to be pretty wild. I'm just going to flick through as well onto the NMM UK precipitation chart. Sorry, we're into that time frame now where, like I said the other day, nowcasting time zone, where you can start to look at the high resolution models, the NA and the NMM models, with regards to where the precipitation is likely to be and what it'll be falling as. And as you can see here, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's already showing the cold front pushing southwards as rain south of the Humber by 10 AM. North of the Humber, it's tending increasingly to snow. As you can see as well there, most of the precipitation from the initial cold front is going to be the heaviest, so sadly, yeah, it's going to be pretty wet for southern areas, places East Anglia and into the West Midlands, etc., the Bristol Channel area, right down to the south coast. It will be falling as rain, sleet at best, as the colder air starts to cut in behind it. If I go to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, as you can see, the colder air is sinking south much more, rapidly turning to snow for East Anglia now, parts of the Middle and East Midlands. As you can see now, it's starting to get clear in central northern parts of England, Pennine areas, with a few snow showers filtering down the North Sea, down the eastern side of the coastline. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, coming up, if you can see, coming up to the capital London, it's gradually turning to snow for the southeast of England. And then before you know it, we'll look at Friday midnight, and as you can see, the wishbone effect, it's pretty much dry right down the central part of the United Kingdom. All areas staying mostly dry, other than a few showers maybe pushing in through the Cheshire Gap, and some more organised ones as well for parts of North Wales, a couple maybe getting into southern parts of Wales as well. It's going to be very cold, that I will say. As again, it's the sea level pressure chart with precipitation overlaid. You can see there, the isobars, more of a north-northwesterly flow instead of a northerly, so obviously the showers are going to be pushing in the areas you would expect to see precipitation in such a flow. So again, North Wales, possibly Cheshire Gap, and north-western parts of Scotland and the far north of Scotland getting regular precipitation. So generally the emphasis in terms of snowfall over the next 24 to 36 hours is going to be western parts, North Wales and northwestern parts of Scotland, as the flow changes to a northwesterly. In terms of snowfall amount from the initial blast from the north, as the cold front is well ahead, there's basically two fronts shown on the UK Met Office charts on the faxes. The first one will be of rain for all areas, depending on how quick it pushes through, or if the colder undercuts quicker, you could tend to see snow becoming pretty widespread for northern parts of England. Obviously, it's still, I think there's more uncertainty for southern parts, and obviously as you come up for East Anglia and Yorkshire Lincolnshire area early in the morning, but the tendency that is there for the models to keep upgrading precipitation and the time frame where it does rapidly turn to snow. It's a case of keeping an eye on your dew points, the NMM model if you've got that with extra, look at the 0 degree isotherm, look at the thickness is important as well, which you'll see on this chart here. Thursday 9 o'clock in the morning, it shows here the thickness, 500 1000 HPA thickness, this is a damp, 530, sub 530, getting to 528. The thickness levels as it pushes south, so you can see across Scotland, far north Scotland, you get the lovely, what I call miracle 510 thickness damp. 515 across much of Scotland and the far north east of England, you're coming into 520 range. So generally speaking, you want that 528 below, 530 below, generally speaking. So you can see how much of a pretty tight, close call it's going to be with terms of precipitation falling as snow during the rush hour. As you can see, as you go into midnight Friday, the full UK is under sub 515 damp. So I mean, the thickness is unbelievable. Generally speaking, you normally see 516s, 518s, 520s, but to see 510, 513s knocking about, it's unbelievable. But really, I've been spoilt by the charts of late. This was the end of the forecast. Generally speaking, there's a lot of areas that are going to see snowfall. There's some uncertainty with regards to the position of the low pressure Saturday into Sunday. What I can say is that there's going to be widespread shower activity for those that are in the east and northeast of England, as the flow switches from an east to northeasterly direction. So you're going to get showers packing in on a strengthening wind, touching gale force, particularly for southern parts of Lincolnshire close to the coast, and also East Anglia. As I said, tomorrow I will do another forecast, and hopefully the picture will be much clearer with regards to the position of the low pressure. But as it stands, and how the past runs have panned out over the past 2 days, it's looking likely that East Anglia, the southeast of England, Yorkshire and Lincolnshire are in the firing line for some pretty serious snowfall over the next 3 to 4 days. I hope you enjoyed this forecast, and I look forward to doing one for you tomorrow. Thank you.